Hello friends, welcome back to Sophisticakes by Mary. For this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do this super cute reverse fault line cake with some cheater. I'm going to call them cheater because they're made out of foam, dipped in chocolate spheres. And I'm in love with this color scheme. So if this sounds interesting, please stick around. First thing we're going to do is make those spheres. Now I'm just using some 26 gauge floral wire, cutting it down into manageable pieces. And I ordered this big box. I didn't realize it was going to be this big of styrofoam balls that I got on Amazon, and I will put a link in the description of this video where you can get them too. And what I'm doing to get them attached is I'm just using my blowtorch, and I am just heating up the ends of those wires, making sure it's not too hot, and then sticking it into the balls. And what that does is it anchors it in there, kind of melts the foam onto the wire. You could also use a hot glue gun if you prefer to do that. Either one of those works very well. Now I'm just gonna get these all lined up and ready to be dipped. And I'm just using candy melts, and I melt them down in 30-second increments until they are completely melted in. If you have a few chunks when you bring it out of the microwave, that's fine. Mix it around and it will eventually melt into the rest of it. And I just add a little bit of oil. Actually, sometimes it's quite a bit of oil to thin it down so it's a good consistency to be able to shake off the excess and not get all the clumps. Now you just kind of add some and then mix it up, and then add some more and mix it up until it becomes more of a dripping consistency. If you were going to use this for, I guess I wouldn't do that for if I'm making, solid chocolate balls in a sphere mold, because your chocolate's not going to be firm enough. It's going to be a little soft. But to dip in our styrofoam balls into, it's just fine. And I did a variety of colors, and I just kind of mixed. I used red and orange together and added a little brown, and this is the color mint with a little bit of brown in it, and just some orange, plain orange ones with a little bit of brown. The brown is the key to getting your fall colors. And there's the buttercream in the same colors. Now we have our already filled and crumb-coated cake. And I'm just piping starting at the bottom. Like I said, this is a reversed fault line cake. Instead of starting at the top or it having the fault line being in the middle or towards the top, we're gonna have the fault line upside down. And I wanted to set that in the freezer. It works better if you set it in the freezer in between coats. And then I'm just showing you how you can actually make some of these gold, because I love gold. You don't have to do this part. You can do other metallics if you prefer, but I just like the gold, as we all know. And all I'm doing is just dipping it into the luster dust. And it works perfect. And all of the colors look the same with the dust on there. A lot of the times they say to use the same base color, either a white, a brown, a gold, or even a yellow for your golds, but they all turn out the same. So, there's that. And now we're going up with our next color. I went with the orange next. And I'm just blending that up a little bit onto the cake so that your next layer does not stick out so far, because that can kind of happen. It can get thicker towards the top, and that's okay, but you don't want it to get too crazy. So just kind of blend in that top line a little bit. Now, on this mint color, I ran out of buttercream. So, as you can see there, I am trying to make the buttercream spread as far as I can. And it worked okay, but I like to have those crisp corners, and it kind of bowed in a little bit on the top. So I just strategically placed the chocolate balls on top so that I kind of put them on the side where it was bowing in the more towards the middle. And I'm just using those wires to stick it right in the cake. If you want to, you can wrap floral tape around them. You could actually put straws in the cake to put the balls into, but I find that they want to just sink it down into the cake that way. There's not enough to hold them up if you want some height in them like I wanted. And honestly, my personal opinion, the floral wire is just fine. This was not for a customer, but for a customer, I would just wrap it in floral tape. That's up for debate. Everybody does what they feel is most comfortable. Nobody's going to be eating those. The floral wire is not going to come off in the cake. It's fine. Somebody else might say something different, but that's just my opinion. We can all have them. And then I added some gold dragées as an accent also. just to add a little bit more touch of gold. And when it comes to arranging those balls, just try to not put the same size spheres, balls, whatever you want to call them, right next to each other. Kind of get some varying sizes next to each other. It's just a little bit more interesting to the eye. And these dragées, just stuck right to the buttercream because the buttercream was still a little bit soft. It hadn't quite crusted over yet. And I'm just touching up that gold, because when you do the gold luster dust just brushed on like that, or dipped in there without any Everclear or any kind of a liquid to turn it into a paint, you can, when you touch it, you can accidentally brush some of that gold off with your finger, and just use your brush to a paintbrush to touch it up. That's all you have to do. I like to add those dragées just to kind of fill in some of that negative space. Like I said, you don't have to do that. That's just my personal preference. And then, of course, we have to add a little bit of that gold paint to the edges just to kind of emphasize that the depth of the layers. And on that top edge as well. And there it is all done, guys. That's really all there is to it. Very simple, I think. Very simple, but yet very effective design. And the colors really make it pop. And if you celebrate Thanksgiving, I would like to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your time with your friends and family, and we'll see you on the next video. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch my video. And if you'd like to watch some other videos, go ahead and click on the link to one of these other videos shown here. And if you would like to check out my other social media, I am on Facebook and Instagram under the same name, Sophisticakes by Mary. And please take the time to share, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you know when I upload another video. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you on the next tutorial.